are you? My name is Rusty Humphries. This is the Rusty Humphries Rebellion. We're going to start in a matter of moments, but first I want you to check in. Let us know who you are and where you are a deplorable from. It's always nice to say hello to our friends that are watching and listening. Rusty Humphries Rebellion is on Monday through Thursday, 9 p.m. in the East, 6 p.m. in the West, unless I got something else going on. Last week was one of those weeks. I was in Dallas and had a great time. But today it is Israel Day. And I am embarrassed and ashamed by the people in the media who claim to have knowledge about Israel and the Palestinians and what's going on over there, when it is obvious they're a bunch of idiots. It is obvious to me, as somebody who's been to Israel 10 times and have spent many, many weeks in this country there. I've also spent many, many years studying this conflict. And for these idiots in the media to pretend that they have any idea what the hell it is they're talking about, it's just shocking and disgusting what they're putting out there. Now, we'll say hello to folks. I was going to play some of my clips of some of my trips to Israel, but for some reason they've disappeared off my Facebook page. I will continue to look, though. Let's say hello to some nice folks. Diane is there. Judy is in Michigan. Vernon's in Ohio. Jeffrey's a patriot from Tampa, Florida. Linda's there. Russ is there. Margie's there. Michelle's there. Vince is in Louisiana. Andrea is in Colorado. Karen loves her country, loves her president. Jean says hi. Marilyn is there. Sonia is there. Kevin checking in from New Hampshire. Carol checking in as well. A lot of folks there, and we do want to hear from all of you. But again, it is so, I want to say it's disappointing, but it's obvious. We know it's coming, that whenever the media gets a chance to get something wrong, they'll do it. There's always an agenda. Everything is based on emotion. We're not going to base things in reality. If we feel bad for somebody, they're going to get the story about them. Let me be honest for a second. Sorry, I'm trying to get the next video together here for you. Whenever we see something going on in Israel, and I don't say Palestine because it's not Palestine, it's Israel. Whenever we see problems, it is Palestinians not getting what they want and fighting their neighbors. Look at problems around the world. It's generally Muslims who can't get along with their neighbors, and so they want to fight and kill and lie and cheat. And that's what's going on with the Palestinians here. This big story that dozens of people were slaughtered by Israelis, I don't buy it. There have been too many stories over the years of Palestinians claimed to have been killed, and then we find out later on it was just another propaganda piece. The other problem here is you've got Hamas, a terrorist group, the Palestinian Authority, terrorist groups. They refuse to have elections. They haven't had an election since 2011. And they continue to lie to their people to tell them what victims they are. They're not victims. Our land was stolen from us. Well, if you want to go back in history, no. God gave the land to the Jews. Then the Romans came, kicked all the Jews out. Palestinians took over for quite a while. By the way, they weren't called Palestinians there. They were Philistines, which was the greatest enemies of the Jews at the time. Then, in the late 1800s, they started, some Jews in England and Russia decided they wanted to come back home. So what did they do? They bought the land. They paid for it. The country had been destroyed by centuries of armies cutting down trees. Israel was a big swamp. Nobody knew what to do with it. Heck, you could even go back to that late 1800s when Mark Twain went over to what they called Palestine at the time. Said you could go for days without seeing anybody. Buildings were basically tents. That the country was a disaster. So, Jews came over, they paid for the land, they fixed it up. They paid to fix it up. And then, when Hitler came around and started doing the Holocaust, he teamed up with the Palestinians. Palestinians went, hey, help us kill some Jews over here. And when that didn't work, Jews from around the world came to their ancestral homeland of Israel and started trying to build a country. They fought wars and won them. They have paid the price, and yet it's never, ever good enough. So, when you see, oh, the poor Palestinians. Again, I've been there, guys. I've been there. I've talked to Palestinians. I've talked to Israelis. Most Israelis I meet go, we just want peace. We'll do whatever it takes. I mean, if we got to give up some land, we'll do it. We just are tired of fighting these people. And every Palestinian I talk to says, yes, this will only be over when every Jew is dead. When they are gone and dead, then we will be done. John says, so what you're saying is 2 billion people got lost for 40 years and they only had to go 200 miles. I don't think it was 2 billion people, John. Okay. Let's see. Scott, the Ottoman Empire, also historically known as Western Europe as the Turkish Empire, simply Turkey, was a state that controlled most of southeastern Europe, Western Asia, northern Africa between the 14th and early 20th centuries. At no time was there ever a recorded Palestinian nation. That's true. As a matter of fact, Palestinians cannot pronounce the letter P. It's Palestinians. They can't pronounce the letter P. You would think if that was your home country, you'd be. Also, the other thing, Palestinians have never had any minted coins. They've always been under the rule of somebody else. And here's the other fact that people don't want to talk about. There's plenty of room in every single Muslim country around there for those Palestinians to move. But those other Muslim countries don't want them. 1, they're troublemakers. 2, they like having Palestinians in Israel so they can point. And it's, save the Palestinians is like, remember 9/11. Remember the Alamo. Save Palestine. It's a rallying cry. And they use it whenever they need it. And that's the truth. Let's take a little look at what CNN had to say. I know. But I play CNN because I know you didn't watch them earlier today. But let's see what they had to say about Trump committing to facilitate Middle East peace. Here we go.
Ceremony talking of peace and partnership, but not far away, the very opposite unfolding. Mass protests and clashes at the border between Gaza and Israel. At least 52 Palestinians now killed. That count has been increasing throughout the day. More than 2,400 injured. That according to Palestinian authorities. CNN's Ian Lee joins me live now.
I'm going to stop that right there. I'm going to, in the words of the great Vanilla Ice, I'm going to stop and collaborate and listen. So 56 people died, according to who? Oh, according to the Palestinian Authority in Gaza. Now, let's also remember, the Gaza Strip was, for a long time, one of the most fertile, profitable, beautiful parts of Israel. And the Palestinians would come out every couple of days. Oh, all we want is Gaza Strip. All we want is Gaza. And if you give us Gaza, you get rid of the Jews in Gaza, we will be just happy, they said. And then the day they pulled out the Jews, what happened? And by the way, it took a while to happen. And there were these big, beautiful mansions on the ocean. and they forced all the Israelis out by gunpoint, and then Hamas started shooting rockets up at them as they were running away. And they went, oh, look at us, look at us. We have made all the Jews run away. Run away, Jew, run away. And then they did. And supposedly there was going to be peace. But what happened? Then they had an election. Hamas gets in, and the terrorism continued. And so now in the same area, by the way, I almost got hit by a Katyusha rocket twice. They're like big metal bottle rockets. They just go up in the air and they come down and they try to hit people. I almost hit twice. But so when this dumbass at CNN starts talking about, well, the Palestinian Authority, 56 people died according to the Palestinian Authority. Don't believe a word they say. Not a single word. Not one. Because their liar pants is on fire. All right, let's continue. Let's see what he had to say.
From the Israeli-Gaza border. Ian, lay out the scene there, and those numbers keep going up and up and up.
That's right. That makes this, John, the deadliest day since the 2014 war. It's calmed down a bit now, but earlier in the day, tens of thousands of people were here gathering, trying to cross over that border fence into Israel. They say they want to return to lands that were lost during the 1948 war.
Okay,
Israel says
all right. So, a bunch of people at the border trying to cross the border, and this guy's going, isn't it great? Yeah, they were just trying to cross the border to go to the land they say were stolen from them. Instead of the headline should have been, terrorists try to cross border to cause more trouble. Didn't get their way. America sides with Israel, and terrorists cross the border to try to kill innocent Israeli women and children. That should have been the headline, but that wasn't. Let's see here. Michelle says, God rules. Mike says, I like this guy. I like you too, Mike. John says, I don't want Sharia law here. LOL, LMBO. I know, Rusty, says Linda. Scott says, remember Ishmael was cast out in the desert? I'm of Clan Isaac. Let's have a family feud. Kay is standing with Israel. Joe says, here's the deal. Israel is biblically prominent and also a sign of lasting peace. What is happening? Israel is the only country there that is wanting peace and a diplomatic society, so it only makes sense that it is happening. Make America great again, and thanks to God. Tommy says, I'm here but afraid to say anything. Last time I did, 24 hours later, missiles flew into Syria. Where are you, Tommy? Martin says, are not all Israelis and Arab Semites? They come from the same family tree. Must have peace among them. Lyman's watching. Kevin says, telling it like it is. Yes. Suzanne says, your hair hilarious, Rusty. Love ya. Keep telling it the way it is. Okay. Let's get back to this dumbass and Mr. Smile. Hey, I'm a reporter. Ian Lee. Yeah. Okay. Let's see the liberal slant he's going to throw it at you. Here we go.
That's not going to happen. And they say they've used tear gas, and we've seen drones actually dropping tear gas on the crowds, but also live rounds, live ammunition to stop people from crossing over. And that's where we're getting that death toll from, John. We also heard heavy machine gun fire in the north and the south, where we've heard tanks firing rounds. And then also near one of the borders, we saw airstrikes today, 2 airstrikes going after what the Israeli military says is a number of Hamas targets as they were conducting terrorist activity. But this day, really a lot of anger about the political process, about what's going on in Jerusalem, and it's all come down to today and tomorrow, John. We're expecting this sort of same level of protest tomorrow when you do get these tens of thousands of people, not just here, but all up and down this border, where you're going to have a recipe for further violence.
Yeah. All right, well, so who do you blame for that? Is that Israel's fault? They stood up, did the right thing. They won the war. By the way, they've been supporting the Palestinians financially. It's never enough. As they told me over and over again, it will only be over when the last Jew is gone. Just saying. All right, you want to see the following video contains graphic violence. Viewer discretion is advised. All right, this is again supposedly what happened in the Gaza Strip area. I'm sure some bad things happened. I don't believe the death toll. I don't. And I don't believe it's a bunch of innocent civilians. Remember, they use their family as shields, as human shields. I've seen it. They've done it to me. I don't buy the BS. I just don't. All right, here we go. Let's play it out. I don't buy the BS. I don't buy it. I don't buy it one single bit.
The value of land in blood and tears. Earlier, Gazans moved toward the border. Israeli soldiers monitor from a dirt berm on the other side. First, they fire warnings, then tear gas. The Palestinians advance, some hurling rocks with slingshots.
Okay, let's stop right there for a second. Okay, so they're watching at a distance, the Israelis. They fire warning shots. Stop. Don't do it. Don't do it. Stop. That don't stop. Then they fire tear gas. Stop. Don't go any further. You're crossing the border. See, we used to have a border in America. So for people who don't remember what a border is, because we don't have one here in America, a border is what separates two countries. Okay? Now, even though the Gaza used to be Israel, they gave that to the Palestinians so as to have peace. Because these peace-loving people, all they wanted was land. Well, now they got land, and let's look at how peaceful they are as the video continues. And again, they're going to try to make the Israelis look. I haven't looked at the video. I don't have to look at the video. I know the way they're going to push this. But let's watch. Let's be honest. Unlike the media, who can't help but lie, pants on fire. Let's continue.
Then come Israeli bullets and the casualties.
Throughout the course of the day, we've seen so many people injured that the ambulances have a tough time of keeping up. They drop the injured people off at the hospital, they get back, usually filled up, and they're off again.
The death toll rises. More than 1,000 injured. Overwhelmed hospitals struggle to cope.
Okay, I've seen videos, and maybe we need to pull it back up. The video where children were killed, and this was a few years ago, and what we found out was the children are being carried out on stretchers. They'd get them out of the area, and you could see it from a helicopter or drone view or whatever. And then the person would get out of the dead person would get up, rise from the dead, get off the stretcher, and run back, and then do it again. All right? Let's continue.
Thousands rally around the Palestinian flag. They're demanding to return to their lands lost in the 1948 war, which is now in Israel. Hamas urged them to remain peaceful.
Of course we feel afraid, but we should sacrifice for our land. People should sacrifice for it. But of course, we feel scared. We are afraid because our children are very important to us.
Scenes like this played out along the border. Palestinians and Israeli soldiers squaring off. For the residents of Gaza, the goal is simple.
We are ready to cross now to the border. We aren't waiting. We've crossed it before, and we will do it again.
Crossing
now,
that
I don't know about you, but that guy sounded like a messenger of peace. To me, I'm not sure. Did Gandhi get reincarnated? We are going to cross the border. We are prepared to cross the border. We'll cross the border. We've done it before. We will do it again. It's like Gandhi is back. And again, CNN doesn't see any problems with this. What am I missing? Kevin asks, why is this all of a sudden happening? It's happening because Donald Trump lived up to the promises of the past 4 presidents who were sissified, wussified, Oprahified, Obama-fied candy asses, and they did not move the United States Embassy to Jerusalem where it belongs. Donald Trump did that. Today was the day. And now we're going to have a big old fight. Here's another problem, the mistake they made. They should have done it in the wintertime. If you do it in the spring, they got nothing else to do, and they go and they riot. They sit around. Okay, you want to know the truth? I'm going to tell you the truth. Here's what happens. These young guys sit around at the coffee shops, chain smoking cigarettes and drinking coffee. They got no jobs. They got nothing to do. Now, the Palestinians get more money per capita than any other country in the world in aid. They all should be having jobs. But all that money sticks. Sticks to the Palestinian Authority leaders, sticks to the Hamas leaders. And so these guys can't get jobs. And so what do? They do what their leaders say. They blame it all on the Jews. They blame it all on Israel. It's all Israel's fault. Which is the lie. Oh, yes, you would have so much more if it wasn't for the Jews keeping it down. Wait a second. What about my friends who have good jobs inside Jerusalem and they're not fighting and killing people? Oh, but they're sellouts. All right, back to the story. Because and again, this is just so horribly slanted, negative to make it look bad for Israel, but let's keep going.
Hence is a red line for Israel's military, blaming Hamas for the day's violence.
Yeah.
And issuing a warning that the army views with great severity any breach of Israeli sovereignty or attempts to damage the security infrastructure. Yet still, the young men of Gaza pushed forward. The casualties mounting. The largest protests Gaza has seen in years met with deadly violence. And this is only day 1.
Met with deadly violence. And this is only day 1. I'm the a-hole producer on CNN, and I'm a loser, he says. Do me a favor, would you please? I want to know, if you support Israel and you think Israel's doing the right thing, I want to see thumbs ups. If you support the Palestinians and you think the Palestinians are right, I want to see those mad, frowny faces. Do that right now. By the way, I forgot to say thank you to our nice friend. Well, you do that now. Do that now. I want to say thank you to our friends at Right Wing News and who power this broadcast. Also, the nice people at Liberty One TV. And I hope you'll support them. I also ask that you'll follow me on the HearMeOut app. Download the HearMeOut app. I do daily updates. I do them all the time. And it's fun. It's interesting. It's like Twitter, except it is audio. And it's very simple. It doesn't cost anything. And it's a great way to go around these massive social media companies that have proven we cannot trust them. So go and follow me on the HearMeOut app. Okay? Very, very important, my friend. Follow me on the HearMeOut app. Who am I? I'm Rusty Humphries. Says it right there. All right, get a lot of thumbs ups. A lot of thumbs ups. Artist Lynn stands with Israel. Tammy's thumbing up. John is there. Jerome, Israel needs to keep doing their thing. Douglas is there. Kevin stands with Israel. Dan stands with Israel. Bobby stands with Israel. Diana stands with Israel. Lance says the media is drinking Kool-Aid. Tommy thinks I say this is going to get worse according to the scripture. Caroline says, please stop. The emoji will freeze the feed. It will? Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know that. President Trump did give a little speech today. It was pretty good. Let's watch a little bit of what happened at the U.S. Embassy dedication ceremony earlier today here on the Rusty Humphries Rebellion.
Exactly 70 years ago, the United States, under President Harry Truman, became the first nation to recognize the State of Israel. Today we officially open the United States Embassy in Jerusalem. Congratulations. It's been a long time coming. Almost immediately after declaring statehood in 1948, Israel designated the city of Jerusalem as its capital. The capital the Jewish people established in ancient times. So important. Today, Jerusalem is the seat of Israel's government. It is the home of the Israeli legislature and the Israeli Supreme Court and Israel's prime minister and president. Israel is a sovereign nation with the right, like every other sovereign nation, to determine its own capital. Yet for many years we failed to acknowledge the obvious, the plain reality that Israel's capital is Jerusalem. On December 6, 2017, at my direction, the United States finally and officially recognized Jerusalem as the true capital of Israel. Today we follow through on this recognition and open our embassy in the historic and sacred land of Jerusalem. And we're opening it many, many years ahead of schedule. As I said in December, our greatest hope is for peace. The United States remains fully committed to facilitating a lasting peace agreement, and we continue to support the status quo at Jerusalem's holy sites, including at the Temple Mount, also known as Haram al-Sharif. This city and its entire nation is a testament to the unbreakable spirit of the Jewish people. The United States will always be a great friend of Israel and a partner in the cause of freedom and peace. We wish Ambassador Friedman good luck as he takes up his office in this beautiful Jerusalem embassy, and we extend a hand in friendship to Israel, the Palestinians, and to all of their neighbors. May there be peace. May God bless this embassy. May God bless all who serve there. And may God bless the United States of America. Thank you.
Amen, Mr. President. Knocking it out of the park. Knocking it out of the park. What'd you think of that speech? Put your comments down. I want to know. I want to see it. I want to read them. Kevin says, you go, Mr. President. Kara wants to know, where is the media videos of innocent Israeli children being slaughtered by Palestinian gunfire, rocket launches, suicide bombings of restaurants and markets? When you take your kid to kindergarten, they got armed guards. Got to have armed guards if you're an Israeli citizen. I've been to the pizza. Let me tell you a story. I'm at a Sbarro pizza parlor in Jerusalem. And I look around and I notice there's a plaque on the wall, and there is a lit candle it's an electric lit candle. And I realize this is the Sbarro pizza parlor that got blown up a couple years ago. And a bunch of people were killed, were murdered, slaughtered. And so I talked to the guy. I'm sorry, everybody. I'm on the air right now as we speak. What? As usual, my mom is very good at calling during the show. It's a gift. Nobody's better at it calling during the show than my mother. Happy Mother's Day, Mom.
Sorry.
Okay.
Sorry, Rusty. I had a message to call you.
I will call you after the show, my mom, okay?
Okay, honey.
All right, I love you. All right, bye-bye. Sorry about that. It's not like the show time has changed. It's a gift. Mom is good at calling at the same time. Anyway. All right, so I was telling you about it's a really sad part, too. All right, so I'm at Sbarro Pizza Parlor. See a plaque on the wall. notice that this is the Sparrow Pizza Parlor that got blown up and a bunch of people got killed. And I go to the guy behind the counter. And I said, so what do you know about what happened that day? He says, oh, I was there. You were there? Yes, I was there that day. Well, what happened? He says, I remember this woman coming up as she's about to ask for pizza. She's very big and not very attractive. And by the time I had realized it was a man, it was too late. The next thing I know, I wake up and I got bomb here, I got bomb here, I got bomb here, I got bomb here, I got all of these places. And he says, I was in hospital for many weeks. I said, wow. Why are you still here? I mean, I got to be honest. You can't be making a ton of cash working at the Sparrow Pizza Parlor. Why are you still here? This is my duty. It is my duty to stand here, stand tall, stand for my country, stand for my people, whether I make pizza or whether I in the IDF, the Israeli Defense Force. It doesn't matter. It is my duty. It is my job. This is my land. Okay. And about 2 days later, I went and I met this guy for the second time. Benjamin Netanyahu. Bibi. Today's a big day for Bibi. And this is something that all Israeli prime ministers want. I'm probably not going to play the whole thing, but let's just play a little bit of it because you probably didn't get a chance to watch it today. And so let's play a little bit of Benjamin Netanyahu's speech at the U.S. Embassy in Jerusalem as they dedicate the U.S. Embassy.
President Rivlin, יושב-ראש הכנסת ורעייתו, שרים, חברי כנסת, ראש עיריית ירושלים, יושב-ראש האופוזיציה, Secretary Menuhin, Deputy Secretary John Sullivan, Jason Greenblatt and Naomi, and your family, Ambassador David Friedman and Tammy, and your family, senators and members of Congress, and the governor of Florida.
I hear no Democrats showed up.
Better friends in the world. You stand for Israel and you stand for Jerusalem. Thank you. Rabbanim, the chief rabbis of Israel, the distinguished rabbis who are here, the pastors, the ministers, the many friends who have come here from around the world, the many friends who have prayed for this day and have worked for this day. Thank you all. And of course, I want to especially welcome Jared Kushner and Ivanka Trump. Your presence here today is a testament to the importance of this occasion, not only for the Trump administration, but in a very personal way, for you. For you, each of you, for the pursuit of peace, and for President Trump himself. Thank you. Dear friends, what a glorious day. Remember this moment. This is history. President Trump, by recognizing history, you have made history. All of us are deeply moved. All of us are deeply grateful. For me, being here brings back wonderful memories from my childhood. גדלתי פה, עד גיל 3. הייתי הולך פה בשדות עד גבול ידוע, כי פה היה אסור ללכת יותר, זה כבר היה מסוכן. ולכן זה יום גדול, יום גדול לירושלים, יום גדול למדינת ישראל, יום שיחרט בזיכרוננו הלאומי לדורות. So I know some of you didn't follow every word I said in Hebrew. And I'll tell you that I spent the first 3 years of my life in this neighborhood and in Gedi Street in Talpiot, which is not very far away. There were a few charming houses here, many open fields. I remember ambling in these fields with my brother Yoni. He was 6, I was 3. He held my hand very tight. We'd walk to this wondrous house of Professor Joseph Klausner, the renowned Jewish historian who was my father's teacher. I used to peer through the slats of the wooden synagogue where he and the great Israeli writer Shai Agnon used to pray on Shabbat. And David, I would approach this place right here, but only so far, because my mother told me, you can't go any further. This was near the border. It was exposed to sniper fire. That was then. This is now. Today, the embassy of the most powerful nation on earth, our greatest ally, the United States of America, today its embassy opened here.
Amen, Brother Bibi. Amen. Tell me what you think about this speech. I want to see your comments. Write them down. Put them up. Dario says, your brother, God bless his soul.
What a difference. What a difference. So for me, this spot brings back personal memories, but for our people, it evokes profound collective memories of the greatest moments we have known on this city on a hill. In Jerusalem, Abram passed the greatest test of faith and the right to be the father of our nation. In Jerusalem, King David established our capital 3,000 years ago. In Jerusalem, King Solomon built our temple, which stood for many centuries. In Jerusalem, Jewish exiles from Babylon rebuilt the temple, which stood for many more centuries. In Jerusalem, the Maccabees rededicated that temple and restored Jewish sovereignty in this land. And it was here in Jerusalem, some 2,000 years later, that the soldiers of Israel spoke 3 immortal words. Har Habayit Be'adenu. The Temple Mount is in our hands. Words that lifted the spirit of the entire nation. We are in Jerusalem and we are here to stay. We are here in Jerusalem protected by the brave soldiers of the Army of Israel, led by our Chief of Staff, Gadi Eisenkot, and our brave soldiers are protecting the borders of Israel as we speak today. We salute them all. And the members of our security forces, the Shin Bet, the Mossad, whose head is with us today. We salute you all of you. We gather here today to celebrate another historic day in the life of this city, which I know will take its place alongside other momentous decisions in the history of our people. Over a century ago, the Balfour Declaration recognized the right of the Jewish people to a national home in this land. And exactly 70 years ago today, President Truman became the first world leader to recognize the newborn Jewish state. Last December, President Trump became the first world leader to recognize Jerusalem as our capital. And today, the United States of America is opening its embassy right here in Jerusalem. Thank you, President Trump, for having the courage to keep your promises. Thank you, President Trump, and thank you all for making the alliance between America and Israel stronger than ever. And thank you, a special thank you, to you, Ambassador Friedman. Thank you, David, for everything you do to bring our countries and our peoples closer together. Today, you have a special privilege. You are privileged to become the first American ambassador to serve your country in Jerusalem, and this is a distinct honor that will be yours forever. Nobody can be first again. Thank you, David. My friends, this is a great day for Israel. It's a great day for America. It's a great day for our fantastic partnership. But I believe it's also a great day for peace. I want to thank Jared, Jason, and David for your tireless efforts to advance peace and for your tireless efforts to advance the truth. The truth and peace are interconnected. A peace that is built on lies will crash on the rocks of Middle Eastern realities. You can only build peace on truth. And the truth is that Jerusalem has been and will always be the capital of the Jewish people, the capital of the Jewish state. Truth, peace, and justice. As our Justice here, Hanan Meltzer, can attest, truth, peace, and justice. This is what we have. And this is what we believe in. The prophet Zechariah declared over 2,500 years ago, Ko amar Adonai, shavti el Tzion, v'shachanti betoch Yerushalayim, v'nikre'a Yerushalayim ir ha'emet. So said the Lord, I will return to Zion, and I will dwell in the midst of Jerusalem, and Jerusalem shall be called the city of truth. May the opening of this embassy in this city spread the truth far and wide, and may the truth advance a lasting peace between Israel and all our neighbors. God bless the United States of America, and God bless Jerusalem, the eternal, undivided capital of Israel. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, shehecheyanu v'kimanu v'egianu lazman hazeh. Thank you very much.
Very well done, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Okay, I can't top that. I'm not going to even try. So quickly, tell me what you think of that speech. Alonzo says, history in the making, proud of our president, and Israel making America great. Thank you. Kalus says, amen. Brian is happy. Sharon says, God bless Jerusalem. God bless America. God bless the men and women who made this possible. Diane says, amen, Bibi. Russell said, keep it up. Kevin says, thank you, Rusty, for the opportunity to watch history in the making. My honor. Thank you. Teresa says, amen, with a whole bunch of hearts on there. Mike says, the Jews are God's chosen people. I truly believe our president was also chosen by God. Do me a favor, okay? Your support means everything. Please go to virtualshield.com. It's the easiest VPN in the world. virtualshield.com/Rusty. Enter that promo code Rusty, get 20% discount. And it's an amazing product, and you need to find out about why you need a virtual private network, and it'll tell you all about it there at virtualshield.com/Rusty. Also, please follow me at the HearMeOut app. Download it. And I know people go, oh, I don't want to do it. It's another app, or I'll do it some other time. No, it's very, very important. I'm not getting paid a bunch of money to do this show. I have sponsors. And if we don't support the sponsors, they're not going to support us anymore. So please, virtualshield.com and the HearMeOut app, download it to your phone. It's so very important, and you got to follow me Rusty Humphries. Would you please do that for me? Thank you. Also, when you get a chance, go check out liberty1tv.com online, or you could find them on the Roku and other cool places. It's a great network with some fantastic shows, and you can find out more about that, liberty1tv.com. That's it. May God bless you. May God bless America. May God bless Israel. I thank you for being here. My name is Rusty Humphries, and this is the Rusty Humphries Rebellion. So share the video. Share the video. Share the video. Share the video.